Satyanarayana Ji, on this day, which is Bhagwan Ved Vyas Ji's Jayanti, we salute him for his unparalleled contribution in the preservation, documentation and propagation of Vedic and scriptural knowledge by which we are benefited even today. We are blessed to have with us Swami Swatmanand Ji, Acharya, Chinmaya Mission South Mumbai and Director Projects of West Zone CHIC, and Brahmacharni Nidhi Ji, Acharya Chinmaya Prakash Zone. My pranams to both of you. It is through you that we receive this self-knowledge, and each one of us present here is eternally grateful to you for carrying forward the vision of Puja Gurudev by continuing to light the path that he paved for us. We will start this evening by a performance by two of our study group in South Mumbai. They are a little bit nervous, so please bear with them.
Ego. It is always at our throat. Ego, our most important friend. Ego, our lifelong companion. Swamiji was a master at tackling people's egos. He made them squirm. He pounced at their ego, unexpected and unaware. In 1988, during a yagna in Melbourne, the opportunity comes to make an afternoon meal for Gurudev, and decision was made to make something different from the normal, regular Indian dishes.
Let me make some spinach pastries for Swamiji today. Yes, that will be a good change for him. I'll add few feathers only. Yes. Best olive oil. Ah, the finest fill of pastry. Some best ricotta cheese. And this spinach. Oh, it's working now. I am sorted. Let me put it to bake today. What is this? These are finest spinach pastries, Swamiji. Interesting. I made them. Not bad. Delicious. It's a Greek recipe. You made them? Yes, I made them. What's in them? Oh, the best olive oil, the finest filo pastry, ricotta cheese, some fresh farm herbs. You made the pastry dough. The dough? No, that I got from the market. You must have made the cheese then. No, that I bought for the best ricotta cheese. Spinach? You made that? No. You made the pastries, is it?
They are good, son.
We enacted was on our connection with our ego. Unknowingly, it is part of us. Swamiji said,
The flower must die to become the fruit. The dreamer must die to become the baker. One alone can be. Ego must die to become the self.
now we bring to you the importance of discipline. During the training courses at the Sidbari Ashram, Gurudev had instructed,
do the practice of 3 japmalas 3 times a day.
Day 1.
Happy faces. Good. So, who all have done the japmalas? No. Who have not done the japmalas? Danna Chappa will not have lunch today.
Finally, tea time.
Wow! I'm going to eat 2 of these.
Enjoy. I don't want my children to starve. I'm happy that they fasted for what they did wrong. Please eat well, my children.
Swamiji said,
Only discipline can make us masters of our own mind. Discipline of the mind alone leads to self-realization.
and then there are seekers, reluctant to acknowledge their own wishes of being seekers, those who are in denial. In Gurudev's presence, there were special moments when devotees' lives felt a sudden turn in the way they thought about life or saw the world. At a yagna in Kerala, a rebellious student disrupts the satsang.
Swamiji, wait a minute. I will not obey you. Only those who respect you will want to obey you. I don't respect you. Why should I obey you? I have come here to learn about the Vedas, to know more about spirituality. I don't want to obey you. Why should I obey you? Your advice is no good to me.
Son, is that so? Please come close to me. I will show you. Please, could you come to my left? We will be able to talk better. Better still come in front of me for the discussion, since you don't respect me. Please, could you come to the original place, to the right? Now sit down, sit down. Now, could you repeat your earlier statement? You see, young man, respect is not necessary to obey elders. Be gentle and good.
In our day-to-day life, we need to obey. Respect comes from within. To be a seeker, anxiety is needed. Swamiji cast a spell on even the most outturned soul to make him pause and think and change. Gurudev could capture the essence of divinity in the magic of words. His simple explanatory responses touched deep and were long-lasting, transforming one's entire life. A devotee once went to Gurudev with a question. A devotee once went to Gurudev with a question.
Pujya Gurudev, I have come to you for help. Please, please help me. I suffer from bouts of bad temper. I sincerely want to get cured of this bad habit, since it is causing a lot of grief to me and to those around me.
Show me your temper. Show me your kind of temper. There are some varieties that cannot be cured.
Swamiji, I cannot show it to you now. It comes to me suddenly. It makes me do stupid things and it goes away as suddenly.
And it is not your nature. Then how can it be your nature? You are not born with this temper. Nobody can give it to you. And your education has not trained you in it. So how can it be yours? Please think about this and disown it as quickly as you can.
It is not that Gurudev never got angry. He was angry at times, but his anger never controlled him. This is what Gurudev taught us, to keep our anger in our pocket, take it out when necessary, and then put it away. Swamiji was to give a talk at the public sector steel plant in Rourkela to more than 1,000 senior officers. The time of the talk was fixed at 3:30 p.m.
Function starts sharp 3:30 p.m. We are sending the car. It's just a 10-minute drive to the venue.
Okay, Swamiji will be there.
On the appointed day, whilst K.C. Patnaik stands, two people walk towards him.
Hello. We have come from the steel plant to pick up Swamiji.
You have arrived early. Yes, but the function starts at sharp 3:30 p.m. Please tell him we are here.
In the meantime, Swamiji was as usual not wasting his time and engrossed in writing letters.
Please wait a little for me. Not mine. Hector. Swamiji, you came from the steel plant and come to pick you up.
It is only 3 o'clock. What am I going to go and do there so early? Why have they come so early? Isn't the talk scheduled for 3:30? And it's only a 10-minute drive from here. Please ask them to wait.
Okay. Swamiji is aware of the time and is asking you to be. But it's already 3:10 p.m.
After a few more anxious moments,
It is now 3:15 p.m.
at 3:20 p.m. sharp, Swamiji opens his door and walks straight to the car.
It is now 3:20. Come, let us go.
Gurudev lived the values he taught. He was always punctual, never a minute early nor a minute too late. Swamiji reminded us all that existence is woven through and through with the divine presence, God, and the vision of God is beyond words. Gurudev captured the essence of divinity in the magic of words. Once, a well-to-do businessman had come to satsang and fell crying at the feet of Gurudev.
Swamiji, Swamiji, I'm a sinner. Please save me, Swamiji. Only you can save me. Please save me.
No one is beyond redemption, my child. No one.
I'm a sinner, Chinmananda. I have committed every kind of sin. Will I go to hell? Is there no redemption for me?
No one is beyond redemption. And no, son, you will not go to hell. I promise you, you will not go to hell. You are already there. You do not have to suffer any more punishment because those sins are punishing you already. You must understand, my child, that God does not need to punish any one of us. God does not punish any of us. It is our sins that punish us. The pangs of suffering following a sinful act are enough punishment. Man is punished by his sins alone. God does not need to punish us. That state of suffering is known as hell. So that is why you don't have to go to hell. You are already there.
In many lectures, Swamiji repeated the same truth. Heaven and hell are states of mind. Liberation from these relative states means abidance in the supreme reality, the one consciousness that pervades all.
Thank you, ladies. That was a really wonderful performance and very insightful. Thank you.